but there's no rush to get there. When you get there, you get there. And when the 9 o'clock hour usually hits, the fog usually dies off. But unfortunately, we're 2 hours away from that. So it is quite foggy, about a half mile.
Maybe,
if that, that you can see. Those getting to be fall mornings. Okay, so we made it in the fog. Still very foggy in spots, but it is what it is. So we are here at Shipshewana, Indiana for their Wednesday auction. My arm's not long enough to get Chris in.
Hi.
So we're gonna go check out, see what is inside. So who knows? The flea market is going on right now. I don't plan on going and looking at that, but
Last time we were here, we got a hot tub at the flea market.
we did buy a hot tub at the flea market, so I probably shouldn't go to the flea market. Okay, it is full. Lots of vendors today, so that's good. So I'm gonna take a peek if I can get 2 cases. Some Christmas. Oh. Oh, look what those are, big guys, shiny brights. Pretty little angels. Choir. Those are pretty, very pretty. Like those. Oh, holy washing machines. Oh, goodness. So there's a guy here that sells from Chicago, and he has quite a following, and he has awesome stuff that we'll probably drool over, but doesn't mean I'm going to get it because his stuff usually goes quite high. Right off the bat, I see the beautiful rusty crustiness. We'll just go around and look at Steve's stuff first. Yes, all the sales start at 9. Multiple. Oh, look at these little guys. Oh, I've had him. Oh, he's actually cast, y'all. I had a rusty crusty one. Oh, he's got a... It's funny, eh? Don't ever see him, and then now all of a sudden I see it all the time. Oh, I like that little tin. Ooh, jadeite lamp, oil lamp, but it's missing the whole top part. But somebody might have that. That is a huge bucket. I don't know what that even holds, because I don't think I speak that language. I can barely speak English. Oh, look at this machine. General store coffee dispenser. Wow. Weird little guy. He's wood. Somebody whittled him. He's a whittled man. Pretty purses. $17.90 Bible. Oh, I feel like I should be having gloves on touching that. It's got some beautiful spool cabinets today. I bet you these are probably some styles by this beautiful. Is that cigar boxes? Yep. Yeah, it was cigar boxes that somebody made in. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Very neat. And then I noticed, where was it? Oh, somebody must be looking at it. Okay, there was a checkerboard. There's an old checkerboard I was going to look at, but somebody's looking at Stice. And then another beautiful spool cabinet that's kind of lost its wording over time. Oh, and what, like puppeteers?
Yeah, puppeteers.
Shadows? He always
So that they
finds
have little lights and stuff. In
he
there.
always finds the neatest stuff. I don't know how he does, but he makes a killing here. Oh, those bunnies and the kitty. Oh, so sweet. Look at that. So pretty.
Oh, then that we don't speak.
Yeah, I can't read it, I can't speak it,
We got some spice jars.
so usually, these guys need these lowers with the plastic and they
You better get on that fellow picker here from Hog Creek behind you.
I don't know, he caught my eye, but that dent, he's got that dent.
Yeah.
That brokenness that, yeah, poor little guy. Ooh, look at that huge Hamilton Beach. I think the smaller ones are easier sells, but that's still pretty amazing. People like the green color. Hold on, let me get a different angle here. People like the green color. She's an oldie, but she's in a little rough shape. Oh my goodness. Look at that turtle.
I did.
That's crazy. Oh, I gotta go in there and look at those, but yeah. Even though I can reproduce those, but
Put that on the end. Make it look good with
I
it.
just sold the big guy yesterday. One of these grain pantry boxes. Oh. There's a smaller shaker box and a small tobacco. Oh, look at that oldie. I'm still attracted to him. Oh, one of the ugly faces. This guy's probably German. Paper mache, yeah, candy. Some beautiful pieces here. I've got plenty of those right now. I've sold a few, but not all of them yet. I don't know. They look good, but yet again, I can make some of those. These cups, I think, are pretty fun. They look like hobbyist pieces, but the colors are really fun. You are mid-century vibe going on there. Those are fun. I have to have a corner cabinet because I really like that one. I like the green. I like that it's already painted. Do I have to have a corner cupboard? Because I really like that one. I like that it's glass all the way down and that you can see. I'll have to show Chris. I don't know about those. They remind me of little kegs.
They're solid.
Yeah, there's some pretty corbels back here. Oh, there we go. Now I was trying to get to these salvage pieces. Little cream corbel down there. I've seen so many shakers in a stack before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. That's a lot of shakers. That is ginormous. That is huge. And then you got a tail from Oklahoma City, probably from a windmill. That thing is huge. Holy cow. So with the flea market being open, I can already tell the crowd is there's a lot of people. And then Steve from Chicago brings a ton of people to come and buy his stuff. So, oh my gosh. I don't know. Prices might go really high today. If they're writing on here, I don't have my mic on. 1880. Somebody asked me how old these things are. All of them are different, so I think I'm meant the stories that could tell. Did find a corner cabinet, but not my style at all. Look at that detail though. Oh my gosh. Crazy. It's just always some beautiful, he always brings some beautiful pieces of furniture in. And then he's always able to date it. Like this piece, oh my gosh. That banister cabinet, lawyer's cabinet, 1880. So pretty. I had a place for this, I don't know how old or new, early step back cupboard. I like the short little shelves, and then look at the little folk arty primitive parties it's got going on. It's so fun. Look at all the stories it can tell. Oh my goodness. And that green table that looks like the basil color from Sweet Pickens. And that's a smooth job I would paint. You know, let's not be picky. Oh, beautiful pieces. I think this is the piece Chris said, hey, go look at that workbench. 1890, 2-piece. Amazing workbench. Oh, it is amazing.
10 now 20. Hit 120 to the nail. 121, 21, 31, 39 to the 130. Hit 120 to the nail. 131, 39 to the 131, 39 to the 125. At 125 to the nail. 125, 25 to the 125, 125. 125, 120, 125. And here we go at 125.
Take 10. That's what he's waiting for to bid on, so we'll see.
4-stack, okay, still solid piece there. 4-stacker around like 500. Able to get 5. 5 here, 5 on 2. Get $200, get down here on 3. 250, $2, $250, down here on 3. Able to get 1 half, and on 3, 50 man. Able to get 3, 50, 50, 50 on 4-stacker. We're not $100 a piece yet. Hit 3 and a half, and a 4. $4 half, and now 450 man. Hit 450, 50, 50, $1 half. They're not going to get 450, $1. What the chase man. Now let touch you in, cut you loose, and let you run. Hit 450, on a quarter. 425, and they get 400, $100, $1 there. Now ahead. You want to get 425? 450, 75, 75, 500. 500, we're no way, buddy. He says yes. 500, not quarter. You're not a quarter. So, 500, you ought to buy 203. All the way, thank you.
We're leaving Shipshewana. It is 1 o'clock. Prices are normal. Steve from Chicago is there, y'all. He brings a crowd. They follow him. He doesn't come every week. He has amazing stuff. I wanted to bid on that breadboard, the German breadboard. I did bid on the German breadboard. I think it was $150 at the end, and I'm like, okay, it would just be for me because ain't nobody gonna buy it for $300. So that's okay. I already have 3 beautiful ones that I'm happy with, but you know, I had to at least try. But we did get some treasures. I missed out on some things because you can't, you know, they have what, 4 or 5 auctioneers going off at the same time. It is so loud. I mean, it is like deafening in there, but man, they got some good stuff. So we'll share with you later on today what we got. So you saw the auction was noisy, it was crowded, and I think a lot of people were there like just touring, looking, because they were coming to the flea market. I don't think the flea market is quite as busy before Labor Day as it is after Labor Day. I think it's busier before that. So you know, by the time you finish up with the auction, you don't want to be walking around in the hot sun and looking at the flea market. But I thought, you know, the thing with Shipshewana in the auction, you just never know what dealers are going to be there, vendors selling. Steve does bring a crowd, so a lot of times when Steve is there, the bidding does go up. People are there to spend money. They're coming, traveling from wherever. Either they're filling it up with their own collections or they're resellers in a much higher end area than we are. But I'm always happy to leave with some treasures, you know, whether it's to decorate our own home with, whether it's to resell. Sometimes I do find items that I can make over. So there's that. I mean, like I said, it's a flea market type of auction, so you just never know. People are unloading what they had gotten on auctions and estate sales. We're getting towards the end of the season. So yeah, and the primitives, y'all, primitives are just one of those things they're old, they go high. So you have the primitive collectors that are there, that are collecting, or their shop is all primitive. So, you know, I wanted to come home with a whole bunch of primitives, but of course, you know, I have to have resellable prices, or I have to see, like, okay, the breadboard I think went for $150. So I'm like, yeah, I stopped at $100 because it wasn't a need, it was a want. I already have 3, and then 4 would make the shelves offset, and yeah, there's that. There's my reasoning. And plus, you know, to resell it, the price would go high, so it's going to be. I have primitives on my eBay. I have primitives like the pantry and the grain and the firkins and all those boxes between eBay and in my retail booth. And they do sell, but they're not a fast seller. So you have to be willing to know that you're going to have to dust them off until the right person comes along that is willing to spend that much money on an item that is worth that price. So I will just sit on it, or I'll trade back and forth between eBay or our booth, or I will just bring it home and decorate my own home with it. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do with it. And then the checkerboards, I think I started bidding on the checkerboards, and like I got into like the $25 range, and I'm like, I can make those. You know, and then the one that was left at the end had paint splatters on it. I think they went for over $55, and I'm like, yet again, I can make those. I think I do a really good job. Are they authentic like those? Probably not, but I'm not paying $55 and over for something, because usually a rule of thumb in our areas, we like to, I mean, you want to make at least double, you know, and then work from there, like whether you need to lower it or if the value is higher, or, you know. So, yeah, I did not see $110 on a checkerboard in our area, so I'm like, there's that. So I bowed on that, and there were some other little yummies I didn't even get to, because I was waiting for the breadboard. I didn't even get to where the Christmas ornaments were. I probably should have. The hard thing about the 4 or 5 auctioneers going off at the same time is that there's 4 or 5 auctioneers going off at the same time. And you can't look at what they have displayed and think, oh, well, they're going to do this, this, and this first. No, a lot of times to keep the crowd at where they're auctioning their start off, they'll pick from tables here and there and here and there and here and there. And you're like, crud, now I'm going to have to stick, because what if the item I wanted, because that happened to me, I wanted to bid on, there was 2 boxes of Halloween stuff that had a couple blow molds in it. But there was also another item I wanted at another table, and then Chris wanted to see if they were going to get to the piece of furniture he wanted. So then I'm trying to pay attention for this guy, bad boy behind me that you already saw. He walked out with it. And so I lost the bid on the blow molds because I couldn't. One, you can't hear. It is deafening. I will say that. You know, your ears are ringing. You're hard of hearing by the time you left. And I have, you know, from being a hairdresser for 30 plus years, with the blow dryer, I already have like a little bit of hearing loss, so I always have to stand next to the auctioneer, which is then next to the speaker, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it is a fun time. It is that adrenaline rush of an auction. What are you going to get? What you're not going to get? You can't be sad when you didn't get anything, because if you really wanted it, you just kept bidding up till you got it, and then you're like, oh, I spent too much money. So anyway, yes, we got the beautiful cupboard. And this was something I was going to keep, because it's funny, like, so that they're Amish-made furniture pieces, and there was probably 25. And, of course, the green stuck out, and then the whole glass doors, which was probably a recycled window. I've noticed and it's funny because Chris's bar that he has, I bought from a dealer at our antique mall where we were at Hog Creek, and we saw the exact same bar at Shipshewana. I'm like, oh man, they're the people who it's the exact same. So I'm pretty sure that they are the ones who made it. So yeah, they definitely, if you're looking for Amish-made furniture, that's a place to go, because it was selling good until they got to the green. There was 2 pieces of green I was going to bid on, even though I don't know how I'm going to tweak it, or if I'm going to tweak it until I get into the house. So it'll probably be a piece that I make over that will probably be sitting in my house once I get the vibe, but I liked the green. I liked the thought of the old-timey green. So Chris did get this barista, and so $500 probably seems like a lot of money, but the nice thing about buying from Steve is a lot of times, like, there's a little note. There's a little note, and then he can kind of date, so it's from 1880, y'all. So it's old stacking, you know, lawyer's cabinet. But the funny thing is, it doesn't, not all the parts come apart. So yeah, like, so the 3 stack, we could get taken, the top 2 maybe. So I think we could half it. There's 4 pieces, and so we were trying to, Chris is used to like unstacking all of them, and it didn't unstack. So yeah, so I thought an 1880 piece of furniture definitely is worth, as a reseller, you know, at least starting off at a price of $1,200 in our booth, if not $1,500. I don't know. We have to kind of like research some of the prices, and then you have to go with your area. But the last one he picked up, he also had to pay $500 for it. And then they don't, there's not a lot of them for sale. You see a lot of people using them for their display pieces in their booth. Not necessarily are they for sale, or they have really high prices on it with their stuff in them for sale, in the hopes that nobody buys them, or they're going to have to find another thing to display their pieces on. So there's that. So the item that I lost out on the blow molds for was this. I was waiting for them to get to this little crab guy. This is the trinket dish. Last one I sold was a inkwell, but this one is the little trinket dish. So this one I think is a little bit newer. The inkwell would have been older. And I did get the paper mache, which is probably German, candy holder. I thought this is probably the best one I've seen. And he had all primitives. That booth was all primitives, so I know that they were true primitives. I didn't bid on a lot of them only because I already have some of those type of pieces. So I was kind of waiting for that. And you saw that turtle. He's the booth that had the turtle, which wasn't primitive, but a very cool piece. And I'm like, I'm in for the odd, but I don't know, like, how would you display that? Like, where would somebody, I couldn't envision how you would display it, but it was a cool piece to look at. And then out of his booth, I wasn't going to buy any of the pantry boxes, but this one got left behind in the pick, so I got it for $25, which seems probably not like a good deal because of the brokenness on it. But they're old. They are old. So I got to be very careful of that bottom. So yes, so the bottom has some brokenness. It has some beautiful age to it. So I think brokenness tells a story personally. That's just my personal opinion. So whether it fits on my shelf or I try to resell it with a very, like, okay, don't touch it, very much kind of note on it, or put it in one of my cupboards. Chris did win the bid on a whole bunch of these. These are just nice little decor pieces to add decor, you know, like shelf sitters, add some background to a little, like if you want to pop your littles and you want to just show them off, you know, just little salvage pieces like that is awesome. And this actually came with the item that I bought, just a little ceramic, which is very cracked, but not broken. Cracked, but not broken. It's got some good old green patina going on there. 2 cute little bunnies. So, maybe a little chip here, but, you know, they're very, very cute. I have a problem with little stools, and I wasn't going to bid on it, but then he put the bunny, and then he put the watering can because nobody was bidding on the little stool, and I got all 3 pieces for $30. So, yeah. And then it was a watering can with a spout. So, yeah, they're not like high sellers, any of these. This would probably be the best seller, so I don't know what, But it was at the first of his, so people might have been heading some bigger items they wanted to buy from him. So I thought I'm going to take what I can get when I see it. Chris did get some metal trucks. So he got a Structo. I think it's not, I mean, these were played with. They were left out in the rain. It seems to have all its pieces or parts. I don't know what he paid for it because I wasn't next to him. And then he got me this little beat up blue truck. He said, this is perfect. I'm assuming it's a Tonka. I don't know what my difference is. Oh, it's Jeep. It says Jeep. So that I could use for Christmas to put Christmas decor in. And then I'm assuming that this little tractor came with it. Since Wednesdays is not normally, Chris does not have Wednesdays off, so he took Wednesday off because it was like the day after our anniversary, and that's what we wanted to do for our anniversary was go to an auction. So, yeah, that's what we like to do. And a little bit of antiquing. So that made it for a long day. We were tired by the time we got home, so he's back at work, y'all. So I did pick a couple pocket knives. So this one is Purina, and then this one is a mobile oil with the Pegasus. I don't know much about them. At the time I was bidding, there wasn't very many people up at this one guy's auction, which happens to be a reseller at Hog Creek where we're at. So I'm like, wow, I don't know, I'll go ahead for $10 and give, I don't know anything about them. And he wasn't going to go under $10 because that's what he paid for them. So there's that. Oh, hold on. I have such short-term memory loss sometimes. So with the bunny, the watering can, and the stool, this did come from Steve's. So I think it was 4 pieces for $30. And this is, he said it was from 1910. He just can find the ages. So it is an old, so you would move your letters around and then you would make words. And I kind of like that. I like the checkerboard. I liked his breadboard. But nobody seemed to really be interested in it. But I think I have some people that might be interested in a piece like this. I think it's beautiful. I love the red, the age of the wooden letters, the whole concept of how that all, and then you could write them because then this is a chalkboard. The other thing I got at Steve's was this. I recently shared a haul with you where I got a 4 sewing drawer cabinet and it sold quickly. So when this one came up, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bid on this one too. What is it? Oh, it still has some sewing supplies in there. And this one's beautiful. It's got 6. Wow. Look at the uniqueness of these hardware. And it almost looks like it's copper. Beautiful. Now, I prefer to pick them up with a top that somebody's made a top for them because Chris just does not have time to put a top for them, so I'm kind of leaving any other ones that I see alone. I did win the bid in Larry's booth on the Peacock, and then he's like, hey, be careful, it's this part's broken. I'm like, really? Okay, that's okay. Y'all know, you watch my channel, I will be able to fix that. I think he had just stuck some hot glue on it and knew that that was not going to hold it, but it is a beautiful piece. Oh my gosh, very beautiful. And then from Larry's booth again, he had a whole box of little saddles. Some are a little worse for wear, but still pretty darn sweet. And then there were little cowboy hats. Now these 3 are plastic, so, and then these, I don't know if they're salesman samples or they came off of Briar's horse or something like that, but those are really sweet. Chris got scared for a second because he thought that was a caterpillar on the little hats, but the little hats are so cute too. And then this is just a plastic one. And then he had, I kind of stayed at Larry's booth. I got stuck there because I couldn't get out. So this is a brass bell that says Great Western Number 8 Railway Co. So usually anything to do with railroad does pretty good. Then I got a stack of these, they're just dirty bowls is what they are. But I bought them because I think I gave $5 for those and $5 for that. because they're not primitive, they're not old, and they'll be great painted pieces to put some decor to somebody's house. Then Chris got this little Hoosier cabinet set that needs some help. But it was really inexpensive. He knows that I picked up the Hoosier cabinet jars. Unfortunately, it's missing one of the jars. And you see it has a very unique, I don't know, I might Google just to see what you can find, if there's any available. We'll see how this piece cleans up because it definitely needs a lot of cleaning. And then I loved these little cups. Oh my gosh, I just thought somebody that has that mid-century modern vibe is going to love them. I have a couple shelves that I put mid-century modern in my booth, and it does really well. So the only spice set I got was this green topped little salt and pepper shakers, but only because it was green. I don't know what was going on that day, you know, talking about the salt and pepper shakers. So Larry had all these spice containers, and I'm like, oh, you know, I do really well with those. I kid you not, that big set at top went for over $150. The 3-piece little round ones, it was up in $135. Every one of those red topped sets were over $100, and I cannot see the resell in that at all because usually I sell them to y'all on eBay. So yeah, there was no resell. Nobody wanted the black ones. I didn't really see any reselling the black ones, but I could not believe that where y'all? Because if you're a collector, that's wonderful, but if you're a reseller, oh, ouch. I've never seen the spice sets go so high. Maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I need to check out eBay and they should be going for more money. I don't know. Chris got this little stack of old slates. 2 of them do not have, you know, they look like they're missing pieces, but look at that primitive writing on there. Still pretty cool, great decor pieces that you don't, you know, like I always say, it doesn't have to always be perfect. Yeah, these are just a couple old slates, and I have plenty of buyers that love the old slates, so I'm glad that he snagged those up. The same place that had all the primitive shakers and where I got the bunny, they had this 3 set. Now, these are older. Look at these. So nobody really seemed to be interested in them. I was. I think they're pretty cool. I love the idea that you can hang them. And then, is this a crawdad or a lobster? I don't know how to tell, but there again, you can hang them. I think they're beautiful. I don't know the age of them, but I love them. And then I did get a couple match boxes. This one, hopefully, the green cleans up after it gets a bath. Now I had to pay up on the match boxes because they all had wording on them and advertising. So I didn't even get. I think I was the 5th pick, and it still was not. It was the same thing. He had paid up on them. He wasn't going to give them away. So then you have to price them accordingly. I had somebody tell me that they were looking for matchboxes, so I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I could. But unfortunately, they weren't cheap. They weren't a couple bucks. They were not a couple bucks. I don't know, $17.50 maybe. The matches was a little bit cheaper. I don't remember that price, $7 or $10. But yeah, no, unfortunately, because of them having advertising on them, they weren't just your little cheap matchboxes. So unfortunately, not anything. I'm reselling them, but not at a cheap price for you to be able to resell them. I'm sorry, I tried. That's all I can do. I can try. Chris was at the table where the stack of 5 shakers were being sold, and they were going way high again. So this one, I like the metal on it though. So we'll see how these clean up. So he got the last 2 that were there. So I'm pretty happy with that. And the elephant in the room is this big. They opened where they were selling the Amish furniture. They opened a trunk that had all this like yarn and stuff in it, and I thought, well, somebody might want that big spool, even if just for decor. It is pretty cool. I don't know Angora. I really don't know. I'm not a yarn expert, but that's a big old spool. And I think I gave $5 for it. So. And then the last piece that Chris got was the big old piece of windmill. We're looking to do decor because if you've seen any of our home tours, our house is white. It's long, it's white. The pole barn is long and white. The barn is long and white. So what we're looking to do is to put like pieces of salvage, because I love salvage. So we're looking to put pieces of salvage up on like the white. We're probably not right now because we're going into the fall and winter, and you know, winter's harsh. Just to have some decor. You know, we love salvage, we love junk, and we love, you know, like my gardens are kind of like a junkyard. But so that's what he bought, not to resell this, which would have been like which way the wind was going. I don't know. There's probably a technical term that I don't know for it. Probably remove most of the mechanism because that makes it really odd and heavy. And I think he only gave $65 for it. And I think the last one that I bought at auction with the Chicago, I gave $200, almost $200 for. So he felt like $65 was a great deal. So thanks you for hanging out at Shipshewana with us. It's always a fun time. It can be stressful. Any sale can be stressful. Anywhere you go, even going into a Goodwill can be stressful because your anxiety of what am I going to find? What am I going to get to leave with? There's always that. But we enjoy it. That's what we wanted to do for our anniversary. Did we have a fancy dinner? No. Yes, we did. We kind of ate at a little restaurant bar area by the then and now antique store in Angola, and then it was kind of crazy busy because they were having a car show on a Wednesday in the middle of the afternoon. So, that was a little weird leaving. We got there before the car show, and then when we were going to leave, all of a sudden they had all the roads closed downtown Angola, so that made it a little crazy, but we made it home. So anyway, thank you again for coming along with us. Let me know if you've done the Shipshewana auction. Do you do the flea market, or are you interested in checking them out? Because the flea market, I'm not sure when the flea market part closes, but the auctions go pretty much all year long. I think there's a time period in between Thanksgiving and New Year's that they don't do any auctions, but yeah, anyway. So again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. If you're new to our channel and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video, and we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!